We're in October, and today we'll be going through 5 more sealed products to invest in for this month. It's getting quite tricky to try and pick which good sealed products are worth, investing that long term, because pretty much you can buy anything right now, and in this market, it's going to do very, very well. I'm trying to look at products that might not be too expensive, that you can try and get your hands on. Of course, it's going to have to be secondary market, unless you can find these at retail. I mean, look, if you can find anything at retail at the moment, that's just an automatic, buy right there. But for me, I'm like, no, you know what? We're going to look at a variety of different stuff, some ETBs, some booster boxes, some collection boxes, and so on and so forth. And yeah, we're going to go through. So we've got 5. We're going to look at TCG players. Let's get into it. All right, coming number 5, we have a Black Bolt and the White Flare ETB. Now, both of these sets have been doing very, very well. There was actually quite a lot of both Black Bolt and White Flare that was released, and there was a lot of it on shelves, especially when it came to booster bundles, collection boxes and the like, and even ETBs that I found that weren't too bad to get hold of, and it felt like there was a lot of it around. Now things are starting to get a little bit more tricky to find, and it is going up in price. So we look at the Black Bolt one to begin with. So of course it dropped 24% since its super hyped release, but overall it's kept a pretty steady movement, as it were. Like over the past month, it has been going up and down like a bit like a yo-yo and hasn't really gone much. So $85, it sounds really weird, but for a specialty set right now, $85 for an ETB isn't actually all that bad. If we look at the most recently sold, some sold under 85. We've had some here for 73, 80, 82, 81. That one's a little bit more expensive, but overall pretty good, right? So for me, I'm like, yeah, this seems pretty reasonable. Black Bolt or the singles have been holding relatively well. Of course, the set has a ton of illustration rares as well. There are some of them that are getting pumped, so that's helping Black Bolt a little bit. But overall, it seems to be a well-received set. I think a lot of people do enjoy Black Bolt and White Flare. Now, the White Flare ETB is a little bit cheaper, not that much cheaper than the Black Bolt one. I mean, out of the two sets, personally, I think I prefer Black Bolt just because it's got more cards that I like in it. But I do think both sets are very good, of course. So yeah, the illustration rares, like I say, some of them are going up in price. You've obviously got the big base cards in the Victini, the Zekrom, and the Reshiram between the two sets as well. There's a lot of value to be had. The pull rates are pretty good to open as well. So I think down the line, this will be a set, or both of these sets will be good sets where people would want to be after them, right? So I think that's going to be pretty good, especially people that really like black and white, that generation. I think down the line, people are going to really like it. It's definitely not on the same level as like 151, that pure nostalgia, but it's kind of on that level, right? When they do these generational sets, I think they're always really, really good. Of course, there's rumors of Gen 3 coming next year, maybe, who knows? But if they do things like this, I think it's going to be pretty good and very sought after. All right, and number 4, we got Twilight Masquerade Booster Box, and it is an expensive one. I must admit, I can't lie. I can't be like, oh, it's cheap, let's pick it up. When we're looking at booster boxes here, we're looking at $330. So most recently sold was about $300. I was looking at this, and I was looking at a few other sets in Scarlet and Violet era, like booster boxes, and I was umming and ahhing about putting either this on there, Surging Sparks, or Obsidian Flames. And Obsidian Flames is basically the same price as Twilight Masquerade, and I kind of feel like Twilight Masquerade is just an overall better set, even though I'm not a huge fan of it. I just think there's more appeal to the set than there is of Obsidian Flames, right? We've got the Ninja, the Eevee, Chansey's a really nice illustration rare. So I think there's some really big heavy hitters in Twilight Masquerade. Obsidian Flames, of course, got the Charizard, but that's nowhere near the same level as the rest of Twilight Masquerade. Over the past 3 months, it's gone up 16%. Of course, over the past year, it has just done incredible things this year. I mean, even when it came out last year, it did pretty well. So it's like, okay, what do we go from here regarding Twilight? Am I going to see it get reprinted booster boxes? No. I think the set's too old at that point, and Pokemon just aren't printing booster boxes. When we're looking at a booster box that's over $300, always got to be careful, of course, but I think right now, this is one of the better ones to go for, right? This is one of the better sets to go for. I think Surging Sparks also could have made it in this slot on the list as well. I think Surging Sparks is a little bit less than $300. That's a very, very good set as well. But I think because of age, I've gone with Twilight Masquerade. I know it's kind of strange, but it is what it is. Here in the UK, we're looking about £300, give or take, just under, for Twilight Masquerade Booster Box. It's crazy to say, for a set that is little over a year old, but it's just the way it is, right? And I just don't see specifically booster boxes go down in price. I really don't. It's getting to the point where Pokemon are so focused on what's coming this year and what they're doing for next year and so on and so forth. The old booster boxes, I say old, it's not even that old, but booster boxes that was a year old or whatever. I just don't see it happening. This has come out this year, quite possibly. Destined Rivals, Journey Together, even Mega Evo, and so on and so forth. But I think anything from 2024 and before that, I just don't see it happening, especially enough to actually make any form of impact as well. So I think in the tier list, I ranked Twilight Masquerade relatively high. I'm pretty sure. I think I put it maybe A tier, low A tier, I think, maybe even high B, which is pretty good, when I do my tier lists. So for me, I do think it's in the top bracket of the Scarlet and Violet era, and I think it will do very, very well. Next up, we have a Prismatic Evolutions Lucario EX and Tyranitar EX Premium Collection box. This is a Sam's Club exclusive. I don't know if we're ever going to get this anywhere else other than the US. Probably not. And look, over in the US, you guys have been getting so much Prismatic. Kind of jealous. We've been getting nothing. Absolutely nothing here. Prismatic, for us, like £160 for an ETB. When you convert that to dollars, if you included tax and converted dollars, you're looking at close to $200 an ETB. It's getting very, very expensive here for Prismatic. So when we look at a product like this, we're just there like a bit envious, you know what I mean? We look at this going, oh, can we have this? We could do with some. And of course you had reprints of ETBs, you had the figure collection, you had a whole load of stuff hit the shelves over in the US. And yeah, we're still waiting for a lot. And prices of stuff for Prismatic here is very, very high. We had the same with 151. Like 151, we didn't get a lot of the booster bundles, restocks. We didn't get a lot, okay? And for here, 151 was very, very expensive. And still is. And it's just like over £100 a booster bundle now. So this one I think is a very good product, right? Of course, if you remember back in Crown Zenith, you had the Sea and Sky boxes, similar to 151 with Blooming Waters. Like these type of boxes, I think are very, very good. Yes, they're big and bulky, so storing them can be a bit of an issue. But the fact is it comes with 14 Prismatic packs is very, very good. 14 Prismatic packs for $105 is crazy good. I don't really care about the promos. Just ignore the promos. Just the 14 packs for $105 is incredibly good. So yeah, I think this is a fantastic product if you can get hold of this. Prismatic is going to do very well regardless. So if you're thinking about Prismatic and you're like, you know what, I don't think Prismatic is, print to the ground. They have printed this an absolute ton in the US, right? Let's get that right, in the US. That's obviously impacted a lot of the single card prices, but they've now started to bounce back up. I said it before, I think Prismatic will go down as one of the best sets, if not the best set in the Scarlet and Violet era. And I do think it's going to do very well. I think it's such an incredible set. It's Evolving Skies 2.0, whether you like the EVs or not, but it is very, very good. So yeah, I think for me, a product like this is just so, so good. So keep that one in mind. Of course, if you're in the US, if you do want to pick this up, I have seen some UK sellers trying to sell this from the US, and they're pretty expensive. But you're looking at probably about £170 was the cheapest I saw, which is more than £10 a pack, which is quite scary. But yeah, it is pretty insane. Okay, number 2 is could be a controversial pick. I've gone for the Mega Evo Enhanced box. Now I mentioned about buying this when it was about $280 a few weeks ago, just before the release of Mega Evo, and I felt like that was a pretty good deal to pick up a $280. I know it sounds crazy to say, like, this product is nearly double MSRP and it's a good buy. I wouldn't have said this like a year ago. I wouldn't have said this at the beginning of this year, but because Pokemon have been like not capable of printing enough of anything, I don't have faith in them to print more booster boxes of this set. Yes, I know it's been split in 2 waves. First wave is bigger than the second wave, and the fact is when we're looking at a first wave product being the bigger one and it's over $300 a booster box, it's not looking good for the second wave. So for me, I'm like, okay, right, in that case then this is going to be an incredibly strong set. If you compare this to the Japanese counterpart, Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia, those two are still performing incredibly strong in the Japanese bubble that it is in that Japanese market. When you convert it to English and you look at the overall set value, this set is incredibly high in value. The gold cards help, of course, because they're so hard to pull. But honestly, guys, this is just pure insanity. I actually thought that with Mega Evo, I actually thought things might settle after Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals was hyped to the absolute max. It is an incredibly good set, but it's like, Mega Evo is kind of interesting. Some cool stuff, but I just don't feel like it'll continue that trend, as it were, from Destined Rivals, especially after Black Ball White Flare, which wasn't bad, like I was saying earlier, but it was still good, but nowhere near as good as stuff that came before it. So for me, it's like, okay, what about Mega Evo? No, it's just full speed ahead. Everybody's obsessed with this. Everyone loves those gold cards. All of a sudden, gold cards weren't interesting before. Most people weren't going out of their way to try and get hold of gold cards, try and pull gold cards in the Sword and Shield, or even the majority of the Scarlet and Violet era. Because these are really expensive, yeah, they look pretty cool. I think the Japanese ones look better. People want to go for them because they're really high in value and they're hard to pull. So that's why they're chasing these. But overall, I do feel like this set is going to perform very well. Of course, you've got the Bulbasaur lineup, which is going to do incredibly well. And people just like Megas. Like, Megas was one of the, the game type that people really enjoyed. And I mean, I enjoyed it from the games as well. So that obviously carries over quite nicely into this. So of course, this is going to do very well. We're looking at booster boxes. It's the enhanced version, of course, sitting at just over $300. I mean, if you can get hold of some of these, if you can get a retail, you're just automatically laughing because you pretty much doubled your money already. But yeah, overall, I do think this is going to be an incredible set. If I had to compare it to the rest of the Scarlet and Violet era, I said I'd probably put this in A tier. I do feel like there's enough good cards in here that would keep that set going. And it baffles me that there's a set that's so new. I mean, it's not even out here in the UK as I'm recording this, but yeah, $310 is wild. Then coming number one is Prismatic again. We're going to go for the booster bundles this time because I think this is probably one of the cheapest, most effective ways of, getting hold of Prismatic, and it's super easy to store. And you could just hold a load of these. If you have a sealed case of this, obviously it fetches a much higher premium. Over here in the UK, I've seen sealed cases go for about £1,000, which is just blows my mind. But yeah, this is, $57, which is relatively cheap. I mean, I wish, we can pick up stuff, reasonably cheap. I think here, actually saying that, I think it's about £60 here. Maybe a little bit less, which is actually not too bad if you do want to get Prismatic. Like I was saying earlier, Prismatic can be very, very expensive. But I actually think this is a very good product, just like the 151 booster bundles, which I think are fantastic. This one's the same, right? And yes, fair enough, more could get reprinted. Pokemon could still pump out more booster bundles, and I kind of get the feeling that they will. I do. I think they will pump out more booster bundles. I think they're going to ignore the ETBs, focus on the booster bundles. But right now, it's like the cheapest it's ever been at $57. Yeah, it's the cheapest it's ever been. So, no, 56. I'm sorry. Basically, the cheapest it's ever been. So yeah, go for it. I think this is a pretty good one to get hold of. Keep seal, like I said, it's nice and easy. It's small, compact. Throw away somewhere. Happy days. And go from there. And if you can get a sealed case for a good price, I think that'll be a very good one as well. But I do think Prismatic, as same with that Sam's Club box, it's just so good. So yeah, I think something like this is a pretty good one. There you have it, guys. That is the picks for this month in October. Getting spicy. It's getting interesting as we're coming into the holiday period. Usually things get more expensive because people want to get stuff for Christmas presents and so on and so forth. For me, I'm just like, it's difficult at the moment to look at the market and be like, yeah, this is so for me it's kind of a bit of a weird one. I'm trying to get whatever I can. I'm not focusing that much on sealed product right now. I'm trying to build up stock and stuff like that regarding singles and slabs. But for me, I think for sealed product there's some really good buys. I mean, of course, next month in November you got a lot being released, a lot of UPCs and other collection boxes and stuff like that coming out. Of course, Phantasmal Flames as well. The next month in November is going to be an interesting month, and then going into December, hopefully, things will calm down. Probably not. Right now, I think if you can get a hold of, obviously, if you can get anything at MSRP, it's a winner. If you can't get hold of things at MSRP, going on places like eBay is probably better than TCG Player, just because TCG Player is a little bit more expensive. If you're over here in the UK like me, eBay is your best bet. Facebook can be quite good as well, like Marketplace, to find some deals. But in all honesty, I think booster boxes are king. I think they've always have been. And then same with ETBs. Booster bundles are pretty good as well. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, but it's tough out there. It's really tough. That is it from me, guys, in today's video. If you watch more Pokemon content, make sure to click the video on the screen. And of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments regarding any of these products. Have you been picking any up? What are you picking up? That is it. Catch you all in the next one, guys. Peace.